Phase 2 starts in the summer. Now is the time to get in shape and become a team.
A huge part of the summer conditioning is becoming a connected team. We did team run all together, so we're all out there at the same time, a decent amount, just so guys would be mixed up and around each other cross position-wise, not just in their own little position group the whole time. The shared sacrifice, the connectivity, the guys getting to know each other, that's a huge component to building a team this day and age, just as much as the training aspect or the football teaching and learning aspect. It's getting to know each other.
Hey, family on two, 1, 2, family.
Football isn't all about speed. We set the tone by winning the war in the trenches.
Attack these short area distances and freaking force and apply it. You understand?
Well, the trench wars is really just to build toughness. See who's tough, who's not tough. The receivers and all the skilled players have to do like flying tens and all stuff like that. But as linemen and bigger guys, there's only one thing we do on the field is just be tougher than the person in front of us.
Hey, the details of being in line. Hey, the details of being in line. Finding a mistake and we're getting back to it. You got me?
Hey, straight up,
let's go. Let's go.
Being a lineman, it's kind of like you do a lot of the dirty work, I feel like, and you don't get a lot of the praise, which, if you ask any of us, that's fine by us, but I feel like we're kind of in the corner, away from everybody, doing this crap, this nasty, hard work that nobody else wants to do. And I think just him saying that, remember what it is to be an O-lineman. That's exactly what we were doing in the trench war, exactly that, doing the stuff that nobody else wants to do. But that's what we got to do in the games, and I think that's what Coach Witt was trying to do with correlating the trench wars to an actual game. So
you can't really teach toughness, but this is a way, like a step, to show us who is tough, who's going to fold.
The team that wins the physical battle usually wins the game. Well, there's no more of a physical battle in our game than at the line of scrimmage between the offensive and defensive line. They're into hand-to-hand combat every single play. Man, those guys are battling for every blade of grass in the box to create space or to get in the other team's backfield and create negative plays. And those little inches, man, they add up and they become the difference in the game.
Every day you line up face to face with another person with another 3 yards. Who's gonna be the winner? Who's gonna be the bigger person? You feel me?
Man, you want those guys to be the kind of guy you'd go anywhere with. You'd go into a foxhole with, you'd go into a dark alley with, you'd go into a bad neighborhood with, because they're gonna have your back, they're not gonna flinch, they're gonna bring it, they're used to being in conflict, they don't run from it, they stand up on 2 feet and they look it square in the face.
Straight on 2, 1, 2. Straight. On the hop.
This summer, Coach Sumrall decided to bring back one of his favorite traditions, the backyard barbecue.
I can reflect back to being a linebackers coach, and every Thursday night, almost all year round, whether it was the season or out of season, my guys would be at my house for dinner every Thursday night. And so as a head coach, a couple of years ago, I made it important to open our house to our players and them know that they have a home away from home. We're gonna treat them like family.
A lot of people and a lot of programs like to preach about family, brotherhood, but not a lot of them go the extra mile to let people into their homes. It was a great time. We got to play pool. We got into the pool, play basketball a little bit. Just a good time to fellowship and get around guys and talk to guys and just hang out other than just looking at plays all the time or watching film all the time. He allowed us to really just grow together as a family. Not too many head coaches let their players all into their house and eat good food and do all the things that we got to do there.
Then I come down like this, you gotta focus. It's all about your hand-eye coordination too. So you wanna come in slow.
Terrible.
That was terrible.
You really don't want to. Got that on film.
Everybody took me in with love, and then like I said, that event, it was just like a beautiful moment, just good vibes, and it was big for me because I got to learn everybody, and just not in the football setting, I got to see everybody real self.
It brings us very close. very close, like as teammates. Like I didn't know anybody on this team.
And in a city like New Orleans, like you can get distracted doing so much other stuff other than football. So I think when we got a chance to go to Sumrall's house and, break bread with each other, it really gave us a chance to enjoy each other's company outside of oh, what's the call or did you do your lift? I mean, it just gives us a chance to bond more of a family than a teammate type deal.
Or maybe you can let your guard down and get to know each other better as people and mix it up. It's fun watching different groups have different interests, but it's really the quality time of spending time together. We talk about being a family, and we preach that, we put signs up about that, but man, to actually live it, you have to do life together.
Two things that athletes can bond over are food and competition. And thanks to Shaz, we had plenty of both at this year's Manning Passing Academy.
We got invited to the Manning Passing Academy, just another way for us to just get some notoriety about the university and about ourselves, and building that team chemistry,
Let's go, baby.
Look, he get
wait, not that side. Not that side.
He
want
the other side.
Oh yeah, look, he coming back.
Oh yeah.
Boy.
Okay, boy.
He love that tattoo.
Yes, Lord. Good stuff, Ali. Oliver.
To me, in that moment, I felt like we just was getting to know each other, but we all found a common goal inside each other. We all see the competitiveness and we all know that we have a reason we play this game. I feel like it's not all about just football. Even though we went there to handle business and to show off our skills and things of that nature, I feel like the most fun part about it was us coming together at the end of it, having a great laugh and once again building a stronger bond.
Yeah, it's a good day out here at the Manning Pass Academy, I had getting some good work with some great quarterbacks, with my boys. Yes, Lord. Stick work. Stick work, baby.
We get out there talking.
Where we gonna eat at?
We gonna get a Preston box, baby.
Me in my hometown is in Thibodaux, Louisiana. I'm from Thibodaux, Louisiana, but I went to St. James High School. But we're in Thibodaux, Louisiana, and I have a special place in Thibodaux. Cajun Kid, Cajun Kid is a very good spot. And he broadcasted me and my family, it's called the Preston Box. And I said after the Manning Passing Academy, I said, man, let's make this useful, And the guys, they had it before, why just don't bring them to the home state where it's actually made? Let's bring them to the home plate where it's all being done, where all the food and stuff being done at.
I mean, amazing meal. The Preston Box is top tier. I'm on chats almost every day about bringing it back here because I'm trying to get some more of it.
In today's college football, transfers aren't just learning a new playbook. Oftentimes, they're learning a whole new place as well.
I found out what don't get me wrong, I don't really know the pronunciation, the bayou. It was a nice little lake behind the restaurant. I ain't never seen them like that. I'm an Alabama guy, was in Washington for a minute, so it was just different for me to see. Let them experience something that they usually wasn't used to or comfortable with, outside of their comfort zone. It looked like they was having a great time, and it was just fun being able to show them what New Orleans is all about.
You'll never know. His nose will be sticking out right there where them bubbles at. You'll never know. He'll be looking dead at us. As soon as you touch that water,
It's over with.
that boy come out, swing.
We got to see each other outside of football again, and just to build the chemistry, to laugh and have fun. That chemistry is gonna translate to the field, because if we all gelling and having fun outside of football, that's just gonna make you want to play harder and go harder for them. The real them, and what you gonna get out of them on and off the field. So that just make you want to go hard.
As training camp begins, it is important to remember the standard.
Dependable, skilled, selfless. If people can say that about you as a teammate, wow. Everybody in the room, strive to be dependable. Strive to be skilled. Don't be the guy that's oh, he doesn't know what to do. All right, then strive to be selfless. If we all in this room strive for that, our team's gonna be special, man. Like really, really special.
Falling below the standard, even one practice, is inexcusable.
The thing I want you guys to understand, man, we can't come out ever to the practice field and calculate what kind of effort we want to give and think it's going to be anything other than our best. Because I felt like a little bit to start, we were kind of like, all right, we're in Spiders, we have a scrimmage tomorrow. That team run period to start was probably the worst team run period we've had in regards to like tempo, effort, energy, that sort of stuff. Now, when y'all know it's for points, like it's 2 minutes, hell, I feel the tempo. I expect tomorrow night we scrimmage to feel the tempo. There's only one way to play the game.
We had some good practices and then we had some bad practices at the beginning of the camp. And you could tell that Coach Sumrall we needed to pick it up and set that standard that we were looking for. And I think after about probably close to halfway through, I think we started picking it up and consistently having a good practice and building on it each and every day. And I think doing that is going to be super beneficial for us.
We're just hard workers, I'd say. Like, the standard is what's gonna help us win games. Like, the standard itself, that's what wins games. Nothing else wins games. Hearing him say stuff like that, that's all it takes is for him to say something, anything about how we do anything, and it has to be fixed. That's the standard. Everything has to be up to the standard.
I thought the energy was significantly better than yesterday's practice. Like the intent was better. All right? Not necessarily, it wasn't everything perfect. There's plenty of mistakes. But like yesterday was kind of like, man, we just got to get through the day. Today there was energy, there was enthusiasm. We got to find consistency though.
All summer long, Coach has challenged us to find our edge in everything that we do. So what will be our edge this season?
I'm not gonna tell you how to beat him. Use your toolbox.
You're constantly in pursuit of getting better, and you're either getting better or you're getting worse. There is no status quo. You don't stay the same. And so I think it's important for everybody in the organization to commit to something that makes them better.
We started to get late in the season and teams start to do this. I think our edge would be just throughout the season, just continue to get even closer. Like, you can always be closer to a teammate. So I think our edge would be just leaning on that culture and leaning on the love of this team. Like our culture, our core values are attitude, toughness, discipline, love. So just leaning on that last one, like daily.
This year, we remember one of the greatest tragedies to ever strike our city and celebrate the athletes who persevered through the unthinkable. But there is a forgotten story. The courageous members of the Tulane athletic staff who fought every day to make the 2005 season possible and tell the story of that unforgettable team.
The lead up was everybody trying to guesstimate where this was going to hit, when it was going to hit, and where do we go. So from there, when it hit, it turned into a giant puzzle where all the pieces were just thrown in the middle of the room, and we had to figure it out on the fly. And we had priorities changed drastically overnight once it hit and it did the damage that it did. So it became the basics in the beginning. How do we feed, shelter, clothe the team, the coaches, support their families? It was just a giant puzzle. Luckily, Rick Dixon, that was his forte. He was calm in the storm, and he asked if the team wanted to proceed with their season, and of course they wanted to. Then we set about trying to make it as typical as possible compared to what it had been in the past, and also recover and also support the players and what was going on with their families too.
On that Friday night, I was with one of my buddies, and he got a phone call from his dad, who was pretty prominent in the media, who coincidentally that night was at dinner at a restaurant in Lakeview, and the mayor, Ray Nagin, was sitting at the table next door, and the mayor had told my buddy's father that we're going to evacuate the city. That's when I decided right then and there, I need to get out of here. So I actually originally evacuated to Houston and was there for 3-4 days until the levees really broke. And you see the water flooding the city. Of course, you're watching all this on television, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm never gonna go back to my hometown again. And that's when another friend of mine who lived in Atlanta called me and said, look, we know you're safe and everything. I don't know what I'm gonna do, because obviously I worked at Tulane and we had a football season, which was the farthest thing from anybody's mind at the time. And he said, look, I can give you a job part-time during the week. And I had another friend where I had a place to stay. So I got a one-way ticket to Atlanta and flew that week and was in Atlanta pretty much till I got back home the week before Thanksgiving, after Tulane had played the 10th of the 11 games in Monroe, and that was the second time I had actually gotten a chance to go home, was after that game in November.
I was remote before remote was a thing. So we were doing things via text message, cell phone. I mean, we had flip phones, and I still had a fax machine. So the plan was essentially, for one of my bigger responsibilities was typing the game plan. Well, we had to pivot, as everyone else did too. We had to pivot quickly to figure out how we were going to get the game plan typed. During the planning process, I didn't have electricity. I was one of the last people to get electricity. So my family and I went to Hurricane to a hotel. I took my fax machine and used their computer. And back then it was not as large of a staff as we have now. And Frank Selfo was the quarterback and offensive coordinator coach, and he would handwrite the game plan, and the plan was to fax it to me, and I would type it and then send it back via fax. So those were the types of things we did. We just, okay, do we have electricity today? Do we have food today? What's the source gonna be? Every single day was like a game planning day.
And well, of course, I'm part of the radio broadcast, and told my bosses at the time, this was ISP, that look, we're gonna play and we need to broadcast these games to just have some sense of normalcy. And thankfully, Chris Ferris, who was my boss at the time, said we're gonna do this. That we were able to execute 11 broadcasts in 11 different cities and have that entire 2005 football season broadcast on the radio was really, to this day, one of my best accomplishments as far as doing any type of media.
The buy-in from the student athletes really solidified the thought that Tulane can be viable, is viable, will be viable, to not only overcome this blow, because this was a blow, but be bigger, stronger, more solidified, more known, recognized, a contender after all this.
I was given the opportunity to go to Oklahoma City and continue to be the studio host with the Hornets and live in Oklahoma City. I also had an opportunity to stay in Atlanta and work at that sports talk station where I had been working part-time for 3 months. And I said no to both of them because I could not do that to Tulane University and I could not do that to the city of New Orleans. And I came back home. It was just having to go back home and being a part of the rebuild. I could not look at myself in the mirror and go somewhere else. I just could not do that. I felt I owed it to Tulane because they had given me so much in my early broadcasting life, and I felt I owed it to the city, and I wasn't going to turn my back on either one of them.
Going forward, that we never looked back. It was always how to be better, how to one-up it every year. That's what it became.
Tulane, bringing the pain. Tulane, bringing the pain. Tulane, running the game, running the game, running the game.
We run the game by all means possible. 2010, this our year, we unstoppable. I go by the name of Mr. Big Chris. I'm the main reason why your head coach pissed. Scratching teams off the list each and every week. Green Wave front page, just watch and see. Saturday, Superdome, where you wanna be. All expense paid trip. Tennessee. Holiday season, we're going bowling, baby. TU, just believe we achieve, baby. I know the fans wondering where we been lately.